Imagine if you had a completely private AI agent plugged into Telegram, capable of searching the web and running your business autonomously, and it costs you nothing. Most people are paying $20, $40, hundreds of dollars a month sometimes for cloud AI tools that log every bit of data on a hackable server forever. This is the alternative. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up Hermes agent on your computer from scratch, connecting Gemma 4, Google's brand new open source model, completely free. Hermes agent learns and builds skills automatically, all running on your own hardware. So you can have your own AI agent for free. Keep every conversation completely private, even if you've never used Terminal before. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy Barkway. I run a very profitable AI startup. So if you haven't already, grab yourself a fresh cup of tea and let's dive straight in. So there are 4 layers to this. One is that Gemma 4 dropped just a couple of weeks ago. They've released 4 really powerful models, 2 of which are designed to be run on mobile phones, really lightweight, still got some decent reasoning in there, but they are not the most powerful, those 2. The other 2 are the 26B and the 31B, which are massively powerful, but both still designed to run on your own hardware at home. The 26B, it has reasoning that is nearly as good as 31B, but it runs significantly faster. So imagine getting answers from your Hermes agent within just a second or 2. And also they have a 256K context window, which means you can feed it hundreds of PDFs without it suffering from any context window brain rot. All of Gemma's models come with multimodal reasoning, which means they can accept text. You can feed them images, audio, also video on there as well, which is incredibly useful for an autonomous agent who needs to work with lots of different platforms. And you can run all of this locally on your machine, keeping everything completely private and within one place. Now, the way we do this is through Docker for AI. Now, Docker is basically just a container, and a container just keeps things nicely isolated in one place so that Hermes doesn't have access to things like your bank account or anything outside of the container environment. And to give it web search capabilities, we're going to be giving it a Firecrawl web API. And if you don't know what Firecrawl is, it's basically the #1 web scraper, and it is agent first. So it makes it really easy for agents to go out, search on the web, scrape what they need to, aggregate information, and then be able to use that to work autonomously. And finally, we've got Hermes. Now, this is basically the car that is driving everything. If you can think of Gemma 4 as the engine under the hood, then Hermes is the one getting us there. The great thing about Hermes is that it has a self-improving loop when it comes to skills. So every so often, it's going to be updating its skill set based on everything it learned that day. So it's going to be automatically improving itself all the time, which is amazing. Massive improvement over OpenClaw. And this can be run in the cloud. It can be run on a VPS. You can do it in a lot of different ways. But today we're going to run it on a local machine, just to keep everything completely private, self-contained, and in one place. So to follow along with what we're doing today, just click the link down below, go into my school community. You'll come to a page like this, and then come to the classroom, all the way down to the bottom, come into the AI Vault, and select Hermes agent right here. And then you can come into this Notion guide. And I've laid everything out step by step for you to follow along with the video, so you don't need to stop and start as we go. So we're going to be using Hermes agent as the car. We're going to be using Ollama to get Gemma 4 onto our system so we can run these open source AI models ourselves. Ollama is great because it allows you to run these open source models without the complexity of having to set up all the software that comes with it. So we'll start by coming to the Hermes agent GitHub. Doing really well. It's got like 83,000 stars so far. So I just come all the way down to the quick install command right here. And then you can copy that, open up your terminal. Do not be intimidated by the terminal at all. We are just copying and pasting commands today. I've laid all of this out for you. Simples. Just paste that in there. And it's going to go ahead and install any dependencies if they are not already installed on your system automatically. So once that's done, you can see that it detects I've got an OpenClaw installation on my computer. We're just going to hit no because I want a fresh installation so I can show you guys. It'll ask you quick setup or the full setup. I'm going to go for full today. And since we're running our own open source model that isn't in this list, I'm going to come down to custom endpoint. and enter our URL manually. And then it's going to ask for an API base URL. Now, the way we get this is that we have to set up Ollama first, and then set up our open source model Gemma 4 on there as well, which is dead simple. I'm just going to open a new terminal window and then take the command from that Notion document, and that will install Ollama on the system. Great. And once that's done, let's come back to Ollama. And then we can just type in a model that we want, or you can browse through their models just here as well. Going for Gemma 4 today. You can see all the different models they've got here. Now, these are the two models that I mentioned that are best suited for mobile phones. They're much smaller, much easier to run on lower end machines. And what you need to be able to run these is not just RAM on your computer, but you need video RAM. So a lot of Windows computers, you can get a graphics card with massive video RAM, 8 gigs plus. You're going to need around 8 gigs minimum as video RAM, which is why the new M series MacBooks are really good for this, because they share memory across video and the machine as well. So I've got 32 gigabytes on my current machine. So I'm going to go for 26B. I probably could run 31B, the biggest one there, but I'm going to go for 26B because it is a much quicker model and it is only slightly dumber than 31B, and 31B is a lot slower for our use case where we want quick, snappy decisions to be working all day on its own. So just click into here and then you can copy the command of the model that is best suited for your machine. Come back to our terminal, just paste that in there. So easy, right? And it's going to pull that through for you. It's downloading 17 gigabytes. So all of the knowledge of the AI is being downloaded onto my machine and it's going to be put onto my video RAM so that it can be accessed really quickly by Hermes agent. While that's going, I'm going to get a cuppa. And we're there. Once it's finished, now we can go back to Hermes agent and we've got our base URL, which would be in a Notion doc. So you can just paste that in, or the API key, you can just press enter and leave it blank. It's automatically detected the model, although you might have to go through a drop down and select the model you just installed. Select yes, I want to use this model. Context length in tokens. You can just leave this blank and it'll auto detect it. Display name, go with Hermes agent bot or just Hermes agent. That's fine. Yeah, so it's going to ask you to select your text to speech provider. I don't like using any cloud services for this because I want to keep everything on my machine and private. So just keep that on that one. You can keep your terminal backend to current, just select local. So max iteration, you can just keep this at the default, which is 60. The tool progress display. Now I recommend you select all, so it shows every tool call with a short preview. This is brilliant to watch. Context compression. So this automatically summarizes old messages when context gets too long, especially when you have a small context window, like on the mobile models. We do have a 256K context window, but whether it's big or small, typically what I've found with these models or any models, including Claude, once you get to about 50% of that context window, you start to experience context rot where the AI starts to get a bit dumber just because there's so much more data flying around in its current memory that it makes it hard for it to keep up. So if it starts to get dumber around 50%, we can just set this to compress the context at about half of the context window. This is also what I tend to do when I'm working in a chat window in Claude Code. As soon as you get about 50%, just start in a new session and you can ask it to compress the conversation at that point. But this will just do it automatically. And it does also have a session reset mode built into it as well. But I would just select this to reset when it is inactive or on a daily basis. You can keep that to its default. Now this, I would just put it to the default and daily reset hour. Just put this to its default, which is 4 a.m. because, who's awake at that time, except for the crazy people. Once we get to channels, this is where we're going to select how we're going to be talking to our Hermes agent. I'm going to select Telegram, just press space first and then enter. Now we're going to need a Telegram bot token. So to get this, just pull up your Telegram right here. You're going to find the bot father just by typing in an @ symbol and then bot father, or one word, into your Telegram. And that'll take you to here. So you can type in /help and it'll show you all the commands that you've got available. So we want to create a new bot. I'm going to give a name for our bot. So I'm just going to call mine Hermes Agents. And then we're going to need a unique username for this. So I'll use my initials and see if that one's available. Okay, JB Hermes Agent Bot. Let's go with that. Done. Okay, now that we've got the token, we can just copy this by clicking that right there and paste that into there. Nothing will show up because it's a password, and press enter. Now you need your user ID for your Telegram account. And to get that, you can just come to user info bot like so, and then just copy the user ID from there, come back to your terminal, paste it in. So now we can choose the tools. I pretty much want everything except for the text to speech here. So I'm happy with that. And then you just press enter. So for the browser, you can just skip this. I don't need image generation, so I can just skip that one. Now, this is the important one. So we want to be able to use Firecrawl as a self-hosted crawler. So what this is going to do is it's going to be able to search the internet for you. And if you don't know what Firecrawl is, it is basically the #1 scraper on the internet, as far as I can see. And companies like Google, big companies like that have a lot of protection on their website to stop crawlers from doing their thing, extracting information. Firecrawl basically overcomes all of that and do a great job of aggregating data from different search engines completely privately and on your own machine. So just come down to Firecrawl self-hosted and then come back to Notion, and you can copy this Firecrawl URL right here. Just before we do that, you want to go ahead and open up a new window. Now I've already done this, but just open up a new terminal window, copy this right here. And basically what that's doing is it's downloading Firecrawl to your home folder. It creates a config file that sets it to run on a certain port. So this localhost port URL will work. It swaps out the build from scratch instructions to something that is pre-built on Docker. And then it boots it up in the background for you. So it does a lot of heavy lifting for you, basically. You just need to paste that into this terminal window right here and then press enter. And once that's done, you can close this out and come back and paste in this URL right here. And that'll work just fine once you've run that code. Great. Tools for Telegram. I'm just going to select the same ones. Great. And then we're ready to go. So we can just launch Hermes just like that. And then I'd recommend you come to your Hermes agent Telegram bot and just press start just to wake him up and say, hey there. Great. Just to test that it's working. The first message might take a little bit of time while the model is first waking up. But as soon as you send that first message, you should be getting much quicker responses. Hey Hermes, what is your purpose? I'm a large language model trained by Google. You can think of me as a versatile digital assistant and collaborator. My purpose is essentially whatever you need me to be in the moment. Depending on how you use me, I can serve several different roles. An information navigator, a creative partner, a problem solver, a language bridge, and even a coding assistant. In short, my purpose is to process information and generate helpful, human-like text to assist you in your tasks, learning, and creativity. How can I help you specifically today? So there we have it. That is exactly how to run Hermes Agent completely locally on your machine using open source models, full privacy, completely free, forever. Now, running Hermes Agent locally is one thing, but if you want a completely autonomous AI agent known as OpenClaw to be running using Gemma 4 on your machine as well, then click this video right here.